Thanks for tuning in to Answers with Andrew. This is a short video series that I'm trying to do to equip families with the knowledge that they need to plan for the future and to just try to share things that I've learned from the areas of law that I practice in, which is estate planning and estate administration, corporate or business law, and also commercial and residential real estate law. So today's topic is typical estate plan documents. What should I expect when I walk into the law office to set up an estate plan? What should I expect to come home with? How many different documents? What are they for? Why would I have them? I've tried to condense this down and just make it a little bit simpler for folks so that they can get an understanding of what are the typical estate plan documents. So the first documents that I will talk about is the last will and testament, which I did another video on already, as well as revocable trusts, which I will be doing probably several videos on. But these are typically documents that help us control and manage assets during our lives and also dispose of them at our death and state what our intentions are about assets and also people that sometimes need to have things managed for them as well. The next types of documents are called POAs. And the first category of those are healthcare documents. In Ohio, we have what's called advanced directives, which means we have an umbrella, and under that umbrella, you have two choices for healthcare documents. You can either do a healthcare power of attorney, or you can do what's called a living will, and you can do them both, and I'll talk about that in another video as well. But the idea is you are appointing a third party with these two documents. So a living will is kind of confusing name. It sounds a lot like last will and testament, but it's not. It's a completely different document. And healthcare powers of attorney and living wills revolve around the idea of what if I'm incapacitated and I can't make my own healthcare decisions? What's going to happen then? Who's going to make those decisions for me? And those documents address that in very different ways. The next type of POA is a durable financial power of attorney, or what you might hear called a financial POA or POA. If you've ever heard somebody say, oh, I'm POA for my dad or I'm POA for my mom, chances are they were talking about the fact that they handle business, financial, or property-related issues for their parents. Maybe they have an aging parent or somebody who can't get around as well as they used to. And so one key difference with the financial power of attorney is that it can be used out of necessity or convenience, whereas with the healthcare power of attorney and the advanced directives in general, someone has to be incapacitated before anybody else is getting power to make healthcare decisions for them. And so the last form that we typically do at my office is a donor registry form that just talks about somebody's wishes regarding organ donation, because we think it can be helpful for the family to just have that written down in case it comes up around the time of death when emotions and sometimes there's just a chaotic bit of time there right around the time somebody passes. And so I've made a little timeline, and I wanted to hold this up and just show you that the idea here is on the timeline in the middle where the dotted line is the time of death, and there should be some documents that are going to be used pre-death, right? So during our life, we would use the POAs, and after death, we would potentially use the revocable trust, the last will and testament, or the donor registry form. So these are typical documents that you might get. You might not get all of them, but you would probably get most of them if you were to set up an estate plan at most Ohio law offices. Thank you so much for tuning in.